You want to finish on the trial? Hour and 20 minutes.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in, so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest. Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soaking it. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing. The opposition ain't on that lane switching. This is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they take on Case Keenum and the Washington Redskins. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion, as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down at this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Cowboys take over with their fourth-year quarterback, Dak Prescott, at the helm. The passing yards a career high last year, close to 3,900, but protection was a problem for Dak Prescott. His 56 sacks. Were one fewer than his previous 2 years combined. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Dak finding his tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable. Yeah. Well, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. It's a first down following a gain of 3. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that.
Well, the pressure gets to him again. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now Prescott, and that will be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League, where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. With a first touchdown of the Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown.
After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
A give to Elliott running left. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
Oh, Prescott stripped, but fortunate. And a loose football, and the Redskins scoop it. There he goes, right side. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Extra point good by Hopkins, and it's now 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. The Redskins have Greg Stroman back deep. And this will be taken at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Try to get her to like it. You make her hungry, and then she'll be like, oh, it's delicious.
A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. If you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The intended target was the rookie Terry McLaurin, and that'll bring up second down.
I think they need to make sure they get together on that route because that's a curl, all right? Timing is everything.
That receiver anticipating turning around, having the ball already halfway there, threw it short. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. 7 yards. The touchdown run, and the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A first down throw for Prescott. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Prescott looks to throw on first. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The kick by Maher is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doxson, 74 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
There you go. I got you, son.
Prescott now on second down toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Now Haskins, complete. It's a rookie from Ohio State, Terry McLaurin. Still fighting for more. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And this Redskins offense continues to pour it on. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
You can't block me. You can't play me.
Here's Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now he dumps this off over the middle. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Slings this deep from McLaurin. This is caught inside the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. And the Cowboys are able to recover.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Prescott. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
It's caught inside the 25. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And the kings of the Super Bowl are the Washington Redskins. They win it, and they will get the Lombardi Trophy. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
On early downs, and he, as I stated, is better and more efficient.